Welcome to our first virtual open house. The 2020-2021 school year is sure to be like no other. No matter what challenges lie ahead, we are committed to partnering with you, the SEBA families, for the success of your SEBA student. Since our students are learning from home either full-time or part-time, our partnership and communication needs to be stronger than ever. Feel free to reach out and communicate with individual SEBA staff members at any time regarding your SEBA students' progress. Be sure to sign up for Google Classroom summaries and create a parent portal account through PowerSchool so that you're aware of how your student is progressing. Before open house, we ask that you watch this grade level video in its entirety to learn about the courses and expectations. On Thursday, October 22nd, we will be following a different format than we normally do for open house. I have emailed the schedule along with the Google Meet links to join. You will notice that beginning at 5:30 p.m., there are 10-minute sessions with each teacher. Please join your SEBA students' classes by clicking on the link or cutting and pasting it into your browser. It would be a good idea to touch base with your SEBA student to confirm that you have identified all of his or her classes and teachers in advance. In addition, there are sessions on Services Action for grades 9 and 10, Personal Project for grade 10, CAS for grades 11 and 12, and Extended Essay for grades 11 and 12, which are essential components of the IB programs and graduation requirements at SEBA. The purpose of all of these sessions is to meet the SEBA staff member, learn about the course and expectations, and have an opportunity to ask any of your questions. In addition, I have also provided you with a virtual library of links that contain information that is usually available at open house. After the event, we will have a PAC meeting at 7:30 to discuss topics such as future informational sessions and fundraisers. On behalf of the entire SEBA staff, I would like to thank you for taking the time to join us this evening.
Hi, and welcome to Open House. My name is Jennifer Sawyer, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our senior English class, DP English A1 Literature Higher Level. Here's a little information about me, my experiences in education, both as a student and as a teacher. The most important thing you need to know is probably that I have been teaching this course since 2005. So even though the curriculum changes and revises every 5 years, I feel very comfortable with this course and what IB is looking for. Our course objectives, the ultimate goal of any English course is to help students understand how to read and appreciate literature. Other things that we're really focusing on this year is variety. We want students to experience a range of texts, whether that is period, style, culture, genre, a variety of skills or ways of responding to a text, and really the ability to recognize and appreciate how multiple perspectives are communicated through literature in respect to cultural contexts and local and global issues. The summer reading that your students should have performed was Born a Crime, Stories from a South African Childhood. This is an autobiography by Trevor Noah. We use it as a means of studying memoir. Currently, your students are reading Civil Disobedience and Other Essays by Henry David Thoreau. We're using this to study and examine rhetoric and thinking about another kind of nonfiction prose and how writers communicate with their audiences there. In the winter, we will be studying 4 different plays. Yerma by Federico Garcia Lorca, which was originally written in Spanish but translated to English. Anawa by Ama Ata Aidu, a Ghanaian poet and playwright. Her play was originally written in English. We'll be reading Master Harold and the Boys by Ethel Fugard, who is a South African playwright. And then lastly, we'll be studying Hamlet by William Shakespeare, which is just one of those great classical pieces that really every high school senior should read. In spring, we'll be studying poetry by Robert Frost. What you need to get out of this is that reading is a must. If you do not see your student reading every night, then your student might not be doing well in English class, because you have to have that first encounter with the text in order to be able to dig into it and work with it and engage in it and understand it. Participation is required. This is by far the most unusual year that I have ever been a teacher. However, whether your student is participating in class physically or virtually, just know uniforms are required. I need to see your student's entire face in a well-lit workspace, and I need to hear his or her voice. This is about engagement. Education is so important, and students are developing more skills than just the academic ones. And the ability to feel connections with other people, to engage in a shared task and a shared goal is a very important life skill. And in order to take the most advantage of these opportunities we have at SEBA, students should be in uniform, their entire face should be on camera, their lighting should be good, and they should be speaking and engaging with the material. Our IB assessments, because of the pandemic, IB has knocked off one, so that we'll only be doing these 3. The individual oral presentations are slotted to happen in February. Students will be working with me to compose their higher level essays in the next month or so. And then May is the paper 1 exam, which will happen in the lecture hall or in some other alternate exam space that keeps students safe and able to focus. If you have any questions, or if you just want to check in to see how your student is doing in this super important senior year, please email me, sawyer.jl@easthartford.org. I'm really good about getting back to people within a day or two. And if you want to talk more in person or even have a conference, just let me know and we can make arrangements. Thank you again for coming tonight. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions at any time.
Hola, me llamo Señora L. I am the DP2 Spanish teacher. My last name is Le Mozurier, so the students call me Señora L for short. The DP2, the diploma program is a 2-year program. So DP2 is the 2nd year of the program. The course is a language acquisition course, and it's designed to provide students with the necessary skills and intercultural understanding to enable them to communicate successfully in an environment where the language studied is spoken. The course is designed to be studied over this 2-year period. The course is comprised of 5 themes: identities, experiences, human ingenuity, social organization, and sharing the planet. The focus is on speaking, listening, writing, and reading comprehension as it pertains to a variety of authentic text types and audiences. Students are required to speak in the language, to do oral presentations, to complete lengthy written texts, to listen and comprehend various Hispanic speakers, and engage in the target language with peers on various topics while still learning about the Hispanic culture. The study of another language is crucial in developing an international-minded and global-thinking IB student. With all the changes this year, IB has taken out of the exam the listening comprehension piece to the exams. The students are still doing the rest of the exams, so they're going to have a reading comprehension and they're going to have a written task, as well as the oral exam. The oral exam, the IA, is 12 to 15 minutes in length, and it's just the teacher and the student and a photo. They choose a photo from one of the 5 themes, and they discuss the photo, and then there's a question answer piece, and then they talk about another theme. Another additional theme is pulled into that. So there have been some changes with that, as well as the percentages in how each of those exams are. That was the one thing they did this year. In addition, for the day-to-day operations, students know that they should be going into Google Classroom daily. This is where all the daily and weekly assignments are, such as the Duolingo, which is it's due every week by 11:59 on Saturday. And then also homework and additional support materials for the course are posted there. I also try to post reminders for upcoming quizzes or tests. And parents are also able to access this as well to see, what assignments are being posted. In addition, students and parents are able to check grades in PowerSchool in addition to the Google Classroom. But Google Classroom is where it's at. It's where everything is. The majority of everything is. Students are also encouraged to use SpanishDICT.com or Word reference, and not to use Google Translate. With the current environment we have right now, with some students only working from home, some coming in every other day versus every day, and not having the students all in one place at one time, it's created a little bit of an adjustment as far as where students are and trying to gauge what they require for additional supports, or even just their levels where they're at. So adding the Google Translate is one other thing. If a student is using Google Translate, and I'm assuming they know how to write sentences, they know how to write paragraphs, but they don't, then that's an issue. Or if we're learning new materials, or if we're adding on and restructuring text types, or how to do text types, and discussing the grammar pieces, and the students don't know what that is because they can't write a sentence, they're going to have an issue with the exams. The exams are basically, they give you an exam. It's written in Spanish entirely, and they get a pencil to write with. There's no computer, there's no dictionary, there's no other sources. There aren't any other sources afforded to the student. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me at any time. The best way to reach me is through email. If you send me an email, I will get back to you. It may not be the first day, depending on when you sent the email, but perhaps the next day. And I will try to find out if you have a question. I will try to get that answered for you. This is a very stressful year for the seniors particularly. So any support they can have either here or in addition at home would be tremendous. The things that I've been telling the seniors is that if you are able to watch a news program, a newscast in Spanish for additional support, for extra enforcement, or watch a program, or watch a movie that you've seen in English, perhaps watch it in Spanish. Things like this. Online, students sometimes are online for different things, either homework or just different things. If you're able to maybe listen to music in Spanish, or anywhere where they're able to use the language, would be great. It would be great reinforcement for them. Hopefully this has been informative. And again, if you have any questions, please contact me via email, and I will get back to you. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Hi, dear parents and students. I'm Mrs. Young, and I am at medical leave for my mom. I will come back on November 16th, but we have a very good experience Chinese teacher teaching your kids, and I heard they learned a lot from her, and then we discussed curriculum, and then hopefully we will have a good smooth transition after I go back on November 16th. So what happened for Chinese 4? Chinese 4 is a very, very stressful and important year for seniors because the test involved. And then this year, test has some changes. And then we have in March, we are going to have individual oral, which is a student be able to choose one picture from 5 given pictures, and student talk about that picture for 3 minutes. And then teacher and student are gonna interact for information about the pictures. And then also we are going to talk about other topics too. And for paper 1 is like writing. So student will have some topics, and student give like 3 kind of prompts, and then based on the one, student choose one and then to write about it. And also for paper 2, we're supposed to have listening, 45 minutes listening test, but is canceled for this year, for next year, and we only have a reading. So for 1 hour reading, and then writing, and then plus the individual oral testing, which is internal, and the paper 1 and paper 2 are external assessment. So for Chinese 4, we need to touch several topics, follow the IB curriculum, and we are going to partially use the book called Integrate Chinese. One is the weather, the topic. Other one is health, and then other one is like travel. So also I will want to touch about pandemic and then technology. So we want those topics. We want to have students to relate it to their life, and then like health. So we are in the very important time of how to take care of our health, and then how to be healthier. And for technology, we want to know how technology change our life, and then like our learning changed, and then also how we handle this pandemic, this disease, and travel, how this pandemic change our travel. And then so students can talk about how our life changed in the future, even though you go travel again. So those are some topics we really want the student not only know the basic vocabulary, basic phrases, basic sentences. So we also want the student be able to think, to be able to debate, and then think about something changes and in our lives, and in the much broader spectrum. Okay. So and for expectations, I want the student who are in school, and then be more focused, and you have the luxury for be able to interact with the teacher much easier. But if you're at home, and I also want you to show up on your face, and then participate if you can interact with us. If you're not, maybe later you can talk to me. And for parents, it's very, very important. I want your senior have very good nutrition, and force them to go to sleep, and ask them sleep enough to be able to function. And then the last one is very important, is to go outside for exercises. And for the questions, you can talk to Miss Kong, and or contact me. And I want you guys stay safe, and see you soon. Thank you. Bye.
Hi, I'm Judy Huppert. Welcome back. It's good to see you again. Welcome to senior year. It went by quick, didn't it? So, really looking forward to this year with your students. It's been one of the best parts about working here at SEBA is seeing them grow from when they were freshmen to where they are now. And even some of them I didn't have freshman year, seeing how they've grown since sophomore year even. This year in history class, we're going to continue to build on the skills that they started way back 3 years ago in terms of their research and writing. Really kind of put the polishing touches on them before I send them off to college. The focus of our class this year, a lot of it is extremely relevant to the world that we're living in. We're looking first at rights and protest movements around the world with in a case study approach, where we'll look at the American Civil Rights Movement and apartheid in South Africa. And then we're also going to be looking at the rise and existence of authoritarian states throughout the world. We focus on Hitler, we look at Stalin, we'll look at Mao, a little bit of Castro. But mainly we look at the methods and the strategies that are used to both create and maintain those kinds of governments. And then we end the year with a study of the Cold War, looking at the relationship between the United States and the Soviet Union and how that backdrop of the whole second half of the 20th century really dictates a lot of the geopolitical stuff that's going on in the world today. So I picked those topics, we picked those topics as ones that we thought were really relevant within the IB curriculum for your students to learn about. And it seems to be stuff that they have has really resonated with students since we've been doing it for the past 3 years. In May, all things going according to plan, they will sit for their IB exams. So we're doing a lot of work to prepare them for that with practice essays and working at the various skill components of that particular assessment. So, and then it will be graduation. Very exciting. If you have any questions throughout the year, please reach out to me. Best way is by email, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.
Hello, my name is Fran Farrell, and I am the Diploma Program Information Technology in a Global Society, or ITGS teacher, here at SEBA. This is a technology class unlike any other technology class that's been offered before. This is specific to IB. This is a class that focuses on the impact technology has on society, both individuals and on a large scale. So it's not a class that's going to train kids how to be hackers and how to do all sorts of unethical things. Instead, the focus is to talk about the advantages and disadvantages of the access and use of digitized information. This class will provide a framework for students to make informed judgments and decisions about the use of IT systems within social contexts, so they can look at programs and softwares and information and see what the advantages and disadvantages are. What you're seeing here is the overview and the ITGS triangle with stakeholders and examples right at the heart of that. So stakeholders being the people utilizing the systems. In the top left, we have strand 1, which is social and ethical significance. This is, in my opinion, one of the best parts about the class because they talk about these IT issues, IT system issues, and how they connect. The top right, strand 2, these are the units that we study throughout the year. DP1 students will be studying business and employment, which they're currently learning about now. From there, we move on to education and training. After that, we move on to talking about the environment and IT systems within that. And finally, they will finish out this year studying about health and talking about all things robotic surgery and telehealth and telemedicine. Their senior year, they will spend time talking about home and leisure, so looking into smart home technology, and then eventually, and more, but then moving on to politics and government and seeing how IT systems have played a role with that. There will also be an exploration of the case study during their senior year, something that is a major part of their IB exams, where they're given a case study at the end of junior year and they spend a year or so examining that. DP2 students last year were able to get through 2.5 units. So we studied business and employment, education, and part of the environment unit. However, that's when the quarantine hit and we had to spend the rest of the year trying to do it from a distance. We came back this year and we finished up the environment unit, and we're currently talking about health, all things health related. We are then going to move on to home and leisure, from there politics and government. This year they have a lot of catch up to do. However, I'm confident that this group of students will rise to that challenge and they will meet that head on. In addition to talking about these, they will also be spending time talking about their IA and the case study. And on the bottom, we have the actual systems that we will talk about. So hardware, software, networks, and so on. Another major part of ITGS in IB is their IA, or their internal assessment. Every class has one of these. And for ITGS, the students are going to find a client in the real world that has a problem that is affecting them. And the students will then analyze that problem and come up with a solution, and then create a solution for that problem. It is broken down into many steps, and I have actually created a website to help students so they can work on this at home. The seniors, the DP2 students, started this last year, and they are currently up to Criterion E. So far they have interviewed their client, they've researched solutions, they've developed an idea of what they want to do, and they are currently creating them. So they might be making a website or a video or working on some sort of new logo or design for a client. And then they will finish the rest of this before the winter break in December. Junior students are going to be starting this later in the year, around March or April, when they will be looking for a client to work with. What I would encourage families to do is to think about who they might know that may benefit from a product such as this, an IT system to help solve a problem. As a small school, the students have few teachers to work with, so they are needing to find clients outside of the school environment. When working with new programs and software, it's usually easier to have hands-on, one-on-one help in person. However, this year, obviously, we can't do that. So there's going to be a little patience and a little more student-centered work, trying to kind of understand how things work, maybe on their own. But I'm always happy to help work with students, especially if it's something new that is giving them a hard time. Please feel free to contact me with any help that you might need. My email address is farrell.fm@easthartford.org, which will be someplace down here. Thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to a fantastic year. Bye now.
I am Mackenzie Mace, the DP biology teacher here at SIBA. I am new to SIBA and new to teaching, and having such great and intelligent students has made this scary first year much better. For the seniors, I teach DP Biology 2, the second half of DP Biology, which they started last year as juniors. Senior year, they will learn more about human physiology, animal physiology, genetics and how it relates to evolution, plant biology, and metabolism. My expectations in the class are that everyone, RLE or not, will participate in their own learning. I offer a lot of group and individual work, so participation and engagement in class are key. When students are in person, I expect them to be safe and engaged, talking with each other in the classroom and collaborating online with their peers as much as possible. When students are online, I expect them to collaborate with their peers and to ask me questions when they are confused, whether it's about technology issues or about biology. It would really help me and your students if you could encourage them to be more active participants in the classroom, even when they are online. I know it's scary to talk to a camera. I am a little scared right now, but it is vital for their understanding inside and outside of class. You can contact me at mace.ml@easthartford.org if you have any questions, suggestions, or concerns. Thank you.
Good evening. Welcome to Open House. I'm so excited to be working with your students again this year, and I had the pleasure of getting to know them last year as my first year here at SIBA. And again, I'm Miss Snyder. My contact information is listed here, snyder.sa@easthartford.org. So please feel free to reach out to me with any questions or concerns you may have over the course of this school year. The second half of the diploma program, chemistry, essentially we're going to pick up where we left off last year. Last year we got through topic 6. This year we're picking up with topic 7 soon. We've been reviewing some of the previous topics that we left off with last year. And then we have topic 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 to cover this year. And as well as that, students will also be working on their IA, which is an independent investigation where students will end up analyzing data, processing data, and they will end up evaluating their data as well in order to write a paper. And that is something that we'll be working on incrementally throughout the school year. Please make sure you're checking in with your senior SEBA student. This year is definitely a particularly busy year. In many ways, there's many outside of class projects that are due, that are graduation requirements, and that will help ensure the success of your student. And as always, please reach out with questions that you may have to me or any other staff member at SEBA, and know that your student is embarking upon the last year of their high school career, and I hope that they begin successfully and continue to sustain their success as they finish strong at the end.
Good evening. My name is Amy Cunningham, and I teach the DP Mathematics Application and Interpretation courses.
Good evening. My name is Rachel Buck, and I teach the DP Mathematics Analysis and Approaches courses.
Individual students have different needs, aspirations, interests, and abilities. For this reason, there are two different DP courses in mathematics: Mathematics Analysis and Approaches, and Mathematics Applications and Interpretation. Each course is designed to meet the needs of a particular group of students.
The two courses share some common content and study the following 5 topics: number and algebra, functions, geometry and trigonometry, probability and statistics, and calculus. The core topics include an in-depth examination of essential concepts from algebra and geometry, augmented by the use of technology, basic concepts of probability and statistics typically found in a pre-calculus course, and an introduction to and focus on conceptual understanding of fundamental ideas of calculus.
The A&I course includes comprehensive coverage of topics from Algebra 2, including their applications and the integration of technology. Expansion of probability and statistics to include such topics as the chi-squared test for independence, and a more detailed study of calculus, including applications of differentiation, such as optimization.
The A&A course includes a thorough study of analytical algebra and pre-calculus topics such as verifying trigonometric identities, expansion of probability and statistics to include topics such as conditional probability, an extensive study of calculus including differentiation, integration, and their applications.
Both courses are assessed through 2 90-minute written exams and an exploration that enables students to demonstrate the application of their skills and knowledge and to pursue their personal interests without the time limitations and other constraints that are associated with written examinations.
Please feel free to reach out to either of us if you have any questions. Have a great night.
Hi, my name is Mark Nystrom, and I'm the site-based coordinator for all online courses here at SEBA that are offered through Pomoja. Your students are taking Math HL and they are in their second year of this program. It's going to be a challenging year, and they will have a lot of things that they need to keep on top of. While I'm not the classroom teacher, as a site-based coordinator, I can share some information with you to let you know what's coming up in this year and some things that you might be able to do to support them. Right off the bat, the students had to have their full plan for their internal assessment, their IA, turned in. That has been due for a few weeks now. I believe most of them are turned in, and that will be the basis for how their year is going to proceed. A rough draft for their IA will be due in November, and the full draft, the final copy, will be due in January. There's not a lot of room for exceptions, so one thing you as families, parents, or guardians can do is to help really encourage them to maintain the deadlines and meet the deadlines. It's so important that the students do not fall behind. The workload will increase as the year goes on. There will be many assignments that have to be done, and these are all geared to prepare the students for their upcoming IB exams. If you have any questions or you feel any need to contact me, my number here at SEBA is 860-622-5591, and my email is Nystrom, that's nystrom.m @easthartford.org. I'm looking forward to a great year and to see these wonderful students achieve great success in this course. Have a good evening.
Hello, I am Mrs. Kent and I teach IB Visual Arts 2.
The DP Visual Arts course focuses on students understanding the historical and cultural significance of art and ideas by analyzing specific cultural ideas, techniques, and processes, as well as considering the historical implementation of events while examining the role of perception in art through the ages. All the goals and targets of this course provide us with a strong foundation for lessons that are geared toward bringing out the individual best in each student. This course will follow an individual path of idea, research, planning, experimentation, process development, critique, and self-assessment that will gradually become more student-directed and less teacher-directed, which generally consist of about 3 projects per quarter with a midterm and a final exam project, as well as a summer project. During the course, students will develop their own artistic identity and path through discovery of personal analysis, personal expression, and defining their own personal view and ideas of art. Students will also develop their own personal theme and goal, evaluate their own skill level, and work towards an improvement plan and explore their own role as an artist. In the second quarter of senior year, they will set up their own gallery exhibition in preparation for the examination in March or April. This development of an exhibition is a personal and professional culmination of the 2 years spent in thoughtful pursuit of learning and excellence. The visual arts exam consists of 3 components: the comparative study, the process portfolio, and the exhibition. The comparative study, which is 20% of their grade, is a collection of slides where they analyze 3 works of art by 2 different artists from 2 different cultures. The process portfolio, which is 40% of their grade, is a slide presentation of their sketchbook pages that highlight the specific IB requirements. And the exhibition, which is 40% of their grade, is 7 works of art, their artist statement, and a curatorial rationale. If you are interested in more information about the IB Visual Arts exam and its components, you can check out kentsvisualarts.com or email me at kent.s@easthartford.org. Thank you.
Hello SEBA families, I'm Jill McNulty and I teach the Senior Theory of Knowledge course. Last year, your students started their TOK journey with Mrs. Sawyer. We continue that journey this year with a special emphasis on the 2 TOK assessments necessary for the IB diploma. During the first month of class, we use the time to go over TOK basics, to refresh our thinking in the TOK way, and to make sure that we understood knowledge claims, knowledge issues, and knowledge questions. Now we're going to move into the TOK presentation and the TOK essay. Each of these assessments are part of the diploma matrix, and we will make sure to provide a lot of time in class and lots of support to help your student complete these tasks. Please reach out to me if you would like some more information or you would like to speak about your own student's achievement, and I wish you the best this year.
Hi, I'm Robert Spiller, CAS Coordinator here at SEBA, and I'm here to give you a brief overview of our CAS program. CAS stands for Creativity, Activity, and Service, and it is one of the 3 core components of the IB Diploma program. It is a requirement that students successfully complete their CAS program in order to receive the IB diploma as well as their high school diploma. The expectation is that in junior year, students would participate in a minimum of 6 CAS experiences and log a total of 30 reflections into ManageBack. One of those experiences that they do in junior year should be their CAS project. The CAS project is just a larger experience where the student is in charge and makes the decisions, works collaboratively with other people, and it must cover at least 2 of the 3 strands of CAS, those being creativity, activity, and service. The reflections should cover each of the learning outcomes where the students talk about what they did, what they experienced, how they felt, and what they learned from their experiences. In senior year, the students are required to log a minimum of 6 experiences and 20 reflections. By April 1st of their senior year, they should have a total of 15 experiences and 50 reflections. After that, the students will have to do 1 final reflection covering the entirety of their CAS program over their junior and senior year. Students should make sure that they log in and put their reflections throughout junior year so they don't get behind. There are many things that students do that qualify for CAS. Many of the clubs and activities at SIBA are CAS related. Any service work, the Avalon Walk, Cancer Walk, sports teams will qualify under activity. Doing something artistic would be creativity. Whether you do something with Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts or with your church group, as long as it's not religious, you can log it into CAS. If you have any questions about CAS, please contact me, and I will be happy to explain and answer your specific questions. Thank you.
Hello, I am Travis Marciniak, the IB coordinator here at SIBA. As some of you may know, the extended essay is one of the hallmarks of the diploma program, and by extension, students' experience here at SIBA. The extended essay gives students the opportunity to home in on one of their areas of interest and become an expert in that field. Students will choose a subject area and a research question, and then research, develop, and write an in-depth 4,000-word research paper in pursuit of an answer to that research question. This process is deeply personal, and the vast bulk of the responsibility for researching, fact-checking, analyzing, and writing falls to the student. Students must receive a grade of D or higher to be eligible for the IB diploma, and IB expects this essay to be the result of approximately 40 hours of work by the student, supported by regular meetings with a faculty advisor. This process closely mirrors the expectations that students will face in higher education and prepares them for other formal pieces of sustained academic writing. At this point, students are in the very early stages of the process. They have chosen a subject area, and they will soon be focusing on a topic. Since this is such a challenging process, family support is extremely important to student success. Having conversations with your student about their progress throughout this process, as well as what they have learned about this topic, gives them opportunities to refine their thinking and introduce nuance that comes from discussion. The final extended essay is due on February 1st, 2021. Throughout the process, students will also complete 3 mandatory reflection sessions, concluding with a closing interview with their faculty advisor. They will need to have a strong emphasis on both their self-management and reflection skills to ensure that they are not falling behind or rushing through. Thoughtful reflection helps to make each essay unique and maximize the impact of each student's personal thought process and worldview, which they have worked so hard to develop in their time here at SIBA. The essay will then be officially scored and sent to the IB. As previously mentioned, the EE is an important part of students' eligibility for the IB diploma, and it also serves as a graduation requirement. Additionally, it will help to set them apart in the college admissions process. While faculty advisors will provide subject-specific guidance needed for each student to write the best essay possible, my role is to oversee the process as a whole and monitor student progress. Please feel free to reach out to me at any time via email or phone, and I look forward to talking with you at Open House.